OSOS, yes, I'm on some other shit, yes. OSOS, yes, I'm on some other shit, yes. I'm on some other shit, 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 I'm on some other shit. OSOS, this is show from the streets on some swag shit. Nothing you can tell me to the profit. More than banks from the pros back to college. Everything I process, tune in and watch it. Share to you from the home of the rockets. Same place where we screw when we chop it. Every league, every team is a contest. It's the only podcast with no nonsense. Whoa, who they gonna call for the real? That's true. If you question, then you may not know. This makes the truth just like my flow.
What up? It's on some other shit. It's your boy Joe Prophet. My girl Monet Banks. We giving you opinions back with facts. Straight like that. And let's get to it. Let's go, man. Like, you know, we got a special one for him, Monet, man. We gotta talk to him.
All right. Today is a wonderful day. Happy Easter to all of those out there celebrating. He has risen. This is episode 12, guys. This is Stay Rooted and Stay Connected. And when I say that, I want you guys to really kind of think about what that means, because we have founder and CEO Paakow Essandoh. He's like, heck no.
So, it's a lot easier than it looks. It's Paakow Essandoh.
Paakow Essandoh.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? He's gonna let y'all know what it is for real. But he is doing absolutely amazing things. I'm talking about things you're probably not even thinking about doing at this time in your life. Making major connections and major moves. So we are excited to have you on the show today, sir.
I'm excited to be here. Thank y'all for inviting me.
Where are you at currently?
I am currently in Dallas, Texas, at home at our base. Everything MIZIZI is ran out of my mom's house. So every morning is like we go to the garage, we package, we ship, and we get everything straight to the customers.
Nice.
Boom. So
let me ask you this, Paakow, like, because honestly, when you said your name, it sounded more Paakow. My bad. Paakow.
So an easy way to remember it is just like Paakow Taco. Paakow Taco.
Now, but let me ask you this, bro.
What's up?
Where in Africa does your name originate from? Because
Ghana.
Like, it didn't sound African when when I look at it did, but when you pronunciate it didn't sound African. So what part of Africa are you from? If you from Africa?
I'm Ghanaian, even though I have the Nigeria jersey on right now. I'm full blood Ghanaian.
Okay.
West Africa, Ghana. I'm Fanti, and my name Paakow actually means boy born on Thursday, and I have
boy
born on Thursday. Yes, sir.
Not bad. So what's Wednesday? No.
Be easy on me.
I'm on, bro.
So, but nonetheless, I have Americanized my name a little bit. There should be more emphasis on the K, so it should be Paakow. But just to keep it easy, yes, sir. Just to make it easy, I just say Paakow.
Okay. When the last time, or if you have, when's the last time you visited Ghana?
Honestly, the last time I went, whenever I was a kid, I was a jit, so I really don't remember it much. I've gone to the continent recently, or in recent as in like 2018. But whenever I went, I visited South Africa, so I never got the actual chance.
You didn't even go home, bro.
So I was working. We were working.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like your home, Ghana's a very beautiful place. Like, you know, I went there 2019, coming to 2020. I was like around Pram Beach. Like, hey, some of the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen in my life, bro. So, like, whenever you get a chance, you need to. Just don't take it back to Ghana, bro. Like, your home is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful.
Justin believe the goal is to go back home, and I've been trying to, and I was supposed to even go this past Christmas, but
COVID,
Corona, you know what I'm saying. So we'll see. But when the wind blows, I'm sure I'm gonna be there.
So I had an opportunity. I did kind of do some digging and some research on you, of course, because I'm very interested in your story and just because I know it's not easy to do the things that you're doing and, kind of reading about your struggles and some of your triumphs as well. So, when you got started, I was like, the funny thing about it, you're just like, I was couch surfing and back in the day, and like a lot of those things are relatable because the grind and what it really takes to get something off the ground. So you're actually born in Brooklyn, or you raised in Brooklyn?
I was born in Brooklyn. I lived there for like 2 years before I moved to Ohio. And then from Ohio, I spent most of my childhood. Moved to Texas for like whenever I was 12 years old. And then whenever I was in Texas, I spent most of my teenage years out here.
Okay, so he D-Town boogieing for real.
What part of D you in, man?
So I stay in the suburbs. I'm in Plano.
Okay.
So yeah, you was out there. You know the
Plano, Texas.
The Dallas streets out there.
I'm about Plano.
Yeah, I'm a Southern boy. I'm Southern at heart.
Yeah.
So the what I wanted to get into was we're talking about embracing your background and really just making those connections or staying connected with people who are like-minded and really capitalizing off kind of the culture basically. So when it comes to you embracing your background, can you really talk about that and how that has really shaped the brand that you've built today?
When I was growing up, I was very, I shunned my Ghanaian culture and my heritage. I didn't want to be African. I lived in a very Caucasian neighborhood in Columbus, Ohio, and I just wanted to be another white boy. And it took me, I mean, that's just what it was. It's what I saw, is what I was around. You get me? So it took me some time to actually start appreciating my blackness and like actually starting to hang out with more black people, start actually really embracing my identity. And that wasn't until I came down to Texas and I got a real taste of diversity. And yeah, I mean, it's been a journey. Honestly, a lot of times I still feel as if like I'm not Ghanaian enough for Ghanaians. At the same time, like I feel like I'm too Ghanaian for a lot of just like Africans or African American. So it's been an interesting space to navigate as I've grown up, but as I get older, I don't know, I recognize that each individual part of me is beautiful, and I just kind of accept it for what it is.
Exactly. Like I love the fact that your brand is about inclusion, but it also celebrates individuality. So it's very powerful what it means. But we're going to get into that. I just want to kind of give your background story a little bit because I know there are some people who are unfamiliar with your story and, basically some of the success that you've had. So who would you say has been your biggest inspiration, whether it be fashion, business, somebody that you've kind of been modeling your
clothing after. I would say my biggest inspiration easily is my mom. Just seeing, because it's always been just me and her. She's a single mother. And seeing how hard she has worked, especially to keep me sheltered throughout my entire life. We've gone through multiple stages or stints where she didn't have a job for 2+ years, and the fact that she is a single mother and has been able to have enough financial literacy in order to keep us afloat, as well as keep me sheltered and not feel those pressures of being jobless or unemployed. It's inspiring, yo. And like, I wish that I could be half the woman, or half the man, half the person.
Half of something.
You know what I'm saying? Half of something that my mama is.
That is amazing. That's a blessing. What about, I guess, that non-celebrity? So who would you say celebrity or your ideal collaboration?
I do. I'm putting it out there for a little bit. I like what the homies at Daily Paper, which is it's like an African lifestyle brand that's over there in Europe. I think they originally in, I want to say, the Netherlands. I could be wrong. But yeah, they're doing great things over there, and I feel like if there's anybody that MIZIZI should collaborate with, it would make the most sense to collaborate with them.
That's dope.
Now, you know what? I want to kind of touch on something you were talking about earlier
What's up?
about, when you come up in Plano and kind of,
A lot of
not
people
wanting to
struggle
be
with that.
African and, what I'm saying, not appreciating your Ghanaian heritage and stuff like that. Because, I mean, I feel like, like our generation, like coming up, like a lot of people struggle with that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because, yeah, you got people at school, your African booty scratcher and stuff like that. But now it's like, it's cool to be African. You know what I mean? It's cool to want to go to Africa and do them type of things. So it could, especially as a, adolescent coming up as a kid, it could like, it could be detrimental to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially to your self esteem and to your you know what I mean? Like, because some of us, ain't as strong mentally as others. You know what I mean? Some people like me, where I came from, it was just like, bruh. Like they gonna talk, they gonna say they whatever, but you gotta stand on your own too and talk back. Like I'm African booty scratcher, but did you take a bath today? Like,
Come back with it.
Be savvy with your hit back because it's like it's just words at the end of the day. But I kind of that kind of hit me, when you said that because I kind of understood what you were going through, but and
Yeah,
that's why I said, you should really go to Ghana, bro, because it's a spiritual thing, bro. Like you gonna know in your spirit that you at the house. This is where you belong. This is where my people at. You know what I'm saying? Like you're literally gonna feel it in your spirit when you go, and then you will really appreciate, where you're from and how unique that you are. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I didn't understand. I just be like, I just want to fit in with my homies. You know what I'm saying? Go to my boy Lamont house, or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? We just trying.
Wow.
I didn't really appreciate how unique I was as a person and as a human being. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really understand it, appreciate it, or or know. You know what I'm saying? But once I understood it, shit,
It's a story.
and it's stuck.
Yeah.
And I feel the same for you too, though. I feel like that's why you're successful in what you're doing and how you're moving.
Your mom, she's chefing up some Ghanaian dishes.
You know what I mean?
She be cooking a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Not as much.
My question is, and I had to ask because Joe, he's Nigerian and you're Ghanaian, so it's always that jollof rice beef, right? So who got the best jollof rice?
Honestly, I'll say the Senegalese. You know what I'm saying? They got everybody beat. That's where it originated from. You know what I'm saying? And then it goes Ghana and then Nigeria.
Have you ever had jollof from Senegal?
I haven't had the pleasure of having the Senegalese rice. I mean,
you got to.
You can't knock anything till you try. So, but
Exactly.
but we talking Ghana and Nigeria.
Our differences, though, I believe, and that's what the impact of MIZIZI has, because you're celebrating people from Ghana, from Senegal, from South Africa.
And it's actually Senegal's Independence Day today too. For those who don't know. So,
shout out to all the police, kindness, you know what I'm saying? Turned up. Oh my goodness, that's so amazing! It's going down for real, guys. Okay, so let's really get into your brand and talk about MIZIZI, what it means. Now, MIZIZI is Swahili for roots. So when we're talking about staying rooted, really getting back to the origins of really, who we are as people. And, I feel like there's so much strength or just like viable life when you talk about connections and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So MIZIZI, as you said, it means roots Swahili. We say that we are the official streetwear brand for the African diaspora. We like connecting and representing. What's up?
You're Ghanaian, but the clothing line is Swahili. Talk to me, dog. What's up?
The homie. So whenever I was a freshman at USF, the homie who inspired me to start the brand, he was Kenyan. He was Kikuyu. So whenever I was going through a list of words that was related to Africa in the diaspora, and we got down to roots, he translated all of the words in Swahili for me, and I heard MIZIZI. I was like, oh yeah, like that's the one.
It's fly as hell now. It's fly. I ain't knocking that. It's fly as hell. But for it to be Swahili was just, it's interesting.
Yeah, we got to be inclusive. And then what did they say that Swahili is, or they kind of dub it as Africa's language or the African language, so it makes sense.
Is it so?
Makes sense.
I hear that one.
Exactly.
Is it so? Swahili? All right, cool. You know.
I mean,
Interesting.
it's meaning something. So we're talking about embodying a movement and a lifestyle. So can you kind of take us back to like when you were like right on the cusp of right before you said you created a website and like all your jerseys basically or the Ghanaian jerseys are sold out like within minutes or something like that. So can you take us right back up into that point where you were just like, Lord, I'm on the edge right now. You know, like I can't take it no more. Please, like I'm ready for this breakthrough. Can you take us back to that moment?
So before I even like had officially launched MIZIZI, I had spent a year and a half trying to actually get it off the ground and find a way to make it viable. This was like my sophomore year now at USF. I took my fall semester off. So by spring semester, I was couch surfing. I was going through it. My grades were slipping. My relationship was falling. It was just a really tough time for me. And I ultimately ended up moving to Orlando with another friend that he grew up with me in Plano as well, but he went to the University of Central Florida, whereas I went to USF. So I stayed with him for the summer, and like throughout that entire summer, it was really rough. But like being with a friend that I grew up with that I could trust, it helped. I mean, it just gave me peace of mind, and just being in like a safe space. So we spent the entire summer partying, doing odd jobs, trying to keep hope alive. But throughout that time, I had been still trying to figure out how I can make MIZIZI viable. And I was trying to license the designs. I had spent so much money like putting into the work, figuring out which countries were the most populated within the United States, getting the designs done. And the only part that I needed done was figuring out how to actually get it made. So that entire summer, I was pitching MIZIZI to different brands in the States, in Canada, in Europe, all seeing if they would take me on, and I would show them. I literally made this 50-page business plan describing where these markets were at, who they were following on social media, how big the markets were, just how to pretty much sell the product. And everybody told me no. Like everybody told me that it was a cool idea, but it wasn't what they were interested in, or they had enough on their plate at the moment. And it wasn't until the very last person. This was like July of 2015. So I call it divine intervention. The person I was staying with, his name is Zane. He had a roommate who had a brother who had a clothing line in Miami. I pitched MIZIZI to him. He told me no, but he told me that I should start looking to manufacture the product overseas as opposed to looking for a manufacturer in the States. So whenever I did get quotes overseas, and I realized that was a third of the cost of anything that I was quoted over here in the States. I got some samples in, and I realized that it was damn near 10 times the quality of anything that I had previously gotten from other manufacturers out here. I was like, oh shit, like this is really possible now. Like I have all the information behind it. I figured out how to sell the product, and the last piece of the puzzle was figuring out how to actually make the product. And by then, so this is like early August was whenever I called up a few homies in Dallas. I set up a photo shoot. I set their release date on August 30th, and it all felt surreal until like it was right after we finished the first photo shoot. I remember just being in the car, and every time I closed my eyes, like I just saw like a shiny gold door that was out of my peripheral, and it just, I don't know. It sounds crazy to say out loud, but
I mean, it's confirmation that your subconscious was aligning. Like you were like, you know what, this is it. You recognize that moment.
It was really like, okay, like once we walk through this door, there's no turning back. Like this is real, Parker. You've put in so much time, energy, and money into this. Now's the moment. Is are you going to actually step through it, or are you just going to let it all? Are you going to shy away and walk away from it? And yeah, so whenever ultimately I did, I officially launched MIZIZI on August 30th, 2015, and I haven't looked back since.
Hey man, yeah, it's a big thing. You're not ready. You're not even ready for what's going on. For real, we're talking about connecting all of these different people under basically like one umbrella, if you will. So when we talk about streetwear, though, what are we really talking about?
For the most part, we focus. Our lane is jerseys, sports jerseys. We make basketball, baseball, hockey, as well as soccer. But we are expanding. I want us to start getting into athleisure. I want us to be. The original idea for MIZIZI was supposed to be everything from head to toe, like literally like bucket hats, shirts, long sleeves, pants, shorts, everything. And I do want us to get slowly but surely get back to that idea. But you get famous for one thing first, right? You get known for like an original idea first, which is why we're championing the jerseys for the time being. And as we grow, we do plan on expanding into more athleisure, more gear that is actually functional, and more things that you can wear on an everyday basis.
I like it.
We got some MIZIZI socks on deck, huh?
we playing with a few designs here and there, but we haven't released anything officially yet.
So that means it could potentially be in the works, y'all. So make sure y'all tune it in. And also shop. It's www.mizizishop.com. So you can check out some of the latest gear that they have.
We have jerseys for African countries, Caribbean countries, Latin American, even fictional ones such as Wakanda or Zamunda. And we've partnered with Disney, Marvel, as well as Paramount to release officially licensed jerseys for each of their movies.
Man, let's
major link ups, y'all. Are y'all listening? Major link ups. So you had a partnership with Marvel to create when the Black Panther had just came out to create the Wakandan jersey, right?
Correct.
So how did that even come about? Because that's major. You acting all humble.
Yeah,
you just like Marvel. They call me all the
Marvel
time.
doorstep, man. How you end up with? How did you end
Marvel?
Up with
the Marvel was it was a struggle, but so back whenever the Black Panther movie trailer had first dropped, and this was I want to say October of 2017. Everybody had hopped on Twitter. They were talking about, oh, what should we wear to the Black Panther movie premiere? We had customers who were saying, oh, let's wear traditional wear. We had customers who were saying, let's wear MIZIZI. And then we had customers who were saying, no, MIZIZI needs to make a jersey specifically for us to wear for the movie. And like that's what originally had sparked the idea. And I had thought about it and I had considered it, but at the end of the day, like it's Marvel, right? They're a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. Well, why would they partner with a 2.5-year-old Black-owned business? But I started doing more research. I started figuring out like, okay, what problems was Marvel having with their marketing with Black Panther, and how could MIZIZI be a solution for them? How could we essentially be that answer?
Solution oriented.
I mean that because at the end of the day, that's all business is. It's solving someone else's problem.
Right.
So from there I had put together a pitch deck outlining why our product was a great fit for them. I sent it off to the licensing department team, but they rejected me pretty swiftly, and told me that they already had other licensors and merchandisers that were making products for them. They didn't need any additional. But I call it polite persistence.
Wow.
I can be annoying, but at the end of the day, as long as I'm polite and respectful, the worst you can tell me is no, right? So it was a lot of back and forth, and eventually I decided
like a mosquito almost.
Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? I'm annoying as hell, but like I'm proud of it because at the end of the day, persistence begets results.
Yeah.
Persistence.
So, it got to the point to where they were just like, all right, well, if you continue to do so, or if you release anything with Marvel IP on it, we'll have to take legal action. So from there, I was like, okay, let me take a step back. If I can go through the front door, how can I go through the back? And that's whenever we created a mock-up jersey. We created a mock-up video, pretty much a mock-up campaign, and we told people, yo, if you want us to release this jersey, tag Marvel and tell them that you want it, so that we can. And this was by like January of 2018.
So y'all was on some guerrilla marketing kind of.
I wasn't gonna take no for an answer. I really wasn't gonna take no for an answer. I was gonna try everything that I could, you know. So it did pretty well. The video, it got picked up by the Shade Room. It circulated very, very well. But still, at the end of the day, whenever I did end up going back to Marvel's IP team, they still told me no. So after that, throughout this entire time, I had been following people that had worked at the licensing department on LinkedIn. And I don't necessarily recommend this method to everybody because it's not necessarily the most professional, and you can piss a lot of people off this way. But I shot shots. I reached out to whoever I could at Marvel to see who I needed to talk to. And eventually someone had gone back to me with an email. And from there, I sent the pitch deck to that email. And literally within a few hours, I had someone from Disney calling me, asking me how I could come to LA so that we can make the Wakanda jersey a real thing. So,
I'm pretty sure you was a lady when you got that call. Like,
what?
Damn, all this shit I done been through. Now they hit me, mama. We hot.
And keep in mind, this is in March. So the Black Panther movie had dropped in February for Black History Month. So the movie had already dropped, like promotion was already dying down. We had already we'd given up on the product since we couldn't actually release it, and we were spending money on something that wasn't going to give us any return on investment. So when they finally came back around in March, I was like, really? I was like, what? This is actually happening? And yeah, we were blessed, and we ended up being a part of the DVD merchandise, or like packed DVD movie promotional merchandise. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you said we can't get that though. Is that what you're saying? You said we can't get that.
So the Wakanda jersey is still available on our website. If y'all want to go check it out, it's still up there. But who knows? When Black Panther 2 comes around, we'll probably end up taking it down and put something out new. So that's going to end up becoming a collectible as well.
So, me and you were kind of discussing, some dead stock merchandise. Well, they require me coming to Dallas to holler at you, Paakow, you know what I mean? Because, I could do that.
That would have to be something that's under the table. So.
You feel me? Cool. As long as me and you got that understanding, baby, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I'm an designer coming to America 2, Black Panther, and possibly Black Panther 2. Let's go.
Hey, man, not bad. So what was the coming to America situation?
Yeah, man, how did that come about, man? Because that's very interesting as well.
Yeah.
Once we had our foot in the door with Marvel, the next two projects, Lion King as well as Coming to America, came together fairly easily. Nice. We already had the middleman that, connected us with the parties at Viacom CBS that handled the licensing department. They were looking for minority companies to work with for the movie. We wanted to be a part of the movie. So whenever we sent in, because we designed just some mock-ups just to send in as a pitch. Whenever we sent those in, they're like, oh yeah, we wanted to work with you guys originally to begin with. So it just came together very naturally, very fluid.
Did you believe that when they said that? We wanted to work with you originally? Too damn good where you're gonna look foolish saying anything but that. But this is just me.
I've learned in business that you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. So even if they didn't mean it, like it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. I mean that's fair, because you don't want to be burning bridges out here. You want to make sure you keep it all the way 100.
Yeah. Exactly.
Somebody will come back at you look sideways. So, and some people really don't know or understand this concept, but I would like some clarification. So the difference between like a clothing line, when people just drop like t-shirts or they have something, and what an actual brand is, like talking about the difference between them.
To be honest, I'm not even a fashion guy like that, but from my definition, or from my understanding, I feel like a clothing line is more so one-off collections, something that doesn't necessarily, it's not contributing to a, I want to say bigger picture, even though bigger picture isn't, I wouldn't say it's the right wording, but it's not contributing to something that's like greater or overarching or something that's an umbrella as a brand would be. It's something a little bit more minute, whereas a brand is just like a bigger expansion of that. It's something that although it may include one collection, it doesn't necessarily mean it's just limited to that one collection or that one line rather. So I think if anything, a clothing line is just like a subsection of what a bigger brand is. So.
What would you say would be, for some of the people who are listening or who are kind of, apprehensive about getting started, what advice would you have to somebody who is trying to launch their own brand or, kind of build up their existing company?
My go-to is that the acquisition of knowledge is a catalyst of progress.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold on. Hold on.
Boy,
Say it again.
dropping bars out.
What?
So
Okay, say it again.
the acquisition of knowledge is a catalyst of progress, right? So the more that you learn in something that is significant or actually relates to whatever is in front of you, whatever obstacle that may be that is just in front of your face, the more you learn about it, the faster you can get ahead of it. That's literally been my go-to in regards to any problem. Anytime there's something I don't know about, I'll try to find a book, YouTube video, author, speaker, somebody who discusses a problem just so I can see from their perspective and see what solutions they may have to offer. And then from there, the more I learn about it, the more I get like a full understanding of something. I'm able to figure out like, okay, this is probably the best way for me, specifically for my pertaining to my circumstances, how to best address this. And that literally applies to everything because nothing under the sun hasn't been done, right? There's always been somebody in time who's written about it, whether it be in a Bible or a hieroglyph on the wall or in a book. Like the information is out there. It's just a matter of being intentional with seeking it.
Seeking ye and ye shall find.
What? No, you definitely touched a few people with that. We got some comments about that. That was some jewel dropping right there. I wish we had like a little sound effect where we could be like, boom, boom, jewel dropping. But that was dope. That's dope. That's definitely some hefty advice that we can carry with us. So what is next for MIZIZI? What's next? Any upcoming projects? Any major collabs? Because if you need some models, you know what I'm saying? We available, you know what I'm saying?
we just wrapped up our newest Zimbabwe hockey campaign.
Who playing hockey?
Zimbabwe, bro, ain't even no ice out there, bro. How they gonna play in the hockey jersey? Man, what is rollerblades?
I mean, do Nigerians play baseball? But it's still the flash jersey.
Yeah, we do. Now that jersey flies hell too.
Thank you. But I mean, for the most part, at the end of the day, so we released a Zimbabwe hockey jersey back in 2016, but we discontinued it. Yeah. But it keeps resurfacing online like every year. And every year we get an onslaught of Zimbabweans who are hitting us up, asking us, where can I get this? We need some more products for Zimbabwe. What's going on? Why am I seeing this product every year, but it's not on your website anymore? So this year for Independence Day coming up on the 18th, like, okay, let's do something special for y'all. And let's make sure that we put out something new, something updated, and something fresh for y'all.
What about Nigerian Independence Day? October.
I mean, that's still October. We still got a few months to go.
Okay. I'm just saying. My way you understand me. Nigeria now, you know.
Yeah. Okay. You got a few months. Let us get through the summer first, one bridge at a time.
Let's
Hold on.
Yeah. Let it be known. Do you have a mentor?
I have.
You connected with that's helped you grow your business?
So, in regards to a business mentor, no. But like real life mentors, I have so many. I mean, in regards to now, I just recently went through a Black-owned, Black-funded Black Business Accelerator. So it put me in connections with a lot of different mentors and people such that are in like PayPal and other organizations that I can pick or I can ask to pick their brains. But in regards to any formal mentorship, I've literally just kind of had to learn as I go. And yeah, I mean, like, I guess that's why I'm so gung-ho about learning or finding books, because I'm learning, doing this, I'm making it up as I go, right? And the best way that I can learn this is the most accessible way that I can learn. I know that the right mentor, the teacher will come whenever the student is ready. So I'm not necessarily forcing it, and I'm just allowing life to happen. And when the right mentor does come in my life, does help me elevate MIZIZI to the next level, I'll open them or accept them with open arms.
So do you feel like, you know, that taking that path was the best way, instead of like maybe going to somebody else and seeking information and maybe going on what they're telling you versus on, like, I don't even want to say moving spiritually, but moving in your, you know, moving how you, moving in your own, you know what I mean? Like how you're learning in your own path, you know, your own way, not really necessarily like being dependent on what somebody else is telling you because they were successful and going their way, because everybody got their own way. That's why sometimes, having mentorship is, I don't know, it's a fine line there, because it's one thing for somebody to kind of, you can see where they went and they can kind of guide you in the right direction to tell you certain pitfalls that you can avoid. Mm-hmm. But then, it's still, in a sense, you still have to, it's still got to be you that's, like you say, willing to seek the information, willing to go learn, willing to try new things, do new, get laughed at, all that, be embarrassed, but yeah, that's one thing I appreciated about your journey, bro. Like, real talk. Like, I remember when I heard you discussing about the trials and tribulations you went, to getting with Marvel, and and how you became, the designer for the, for the movie Coming to America 2, and stuff like Coming to America. I said Coming to America 2, but
same thing. I get you, man.
Yeah, same difference. Right? You just gotta give you the official title. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that was. It was encouraging, man, because, a lot of people without skin color don't even think that could even happen. And when I heard you telling that story, I was just like, wait a minute, nah, I gotta holler at this dude. Now you gotta let people know what's going on, because the shit's amazing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Bless you, bro. Thank you. And that's not to say that I don't think that formal mentorship or training, there's anything wrong with it.
No.
Everybody has their own. Everybody has their own path, and they have what works and what doesn't work for them. Absolutely. I have tried the formal mentorship, but I've also learned that if people don't have your best interest at heart, that might necessarily be as fruitful as you may want it to be, or you might not get necessarily what you expect. And that's okay. So I've learned to, if anything, business taught me is to be a lot more fluid with how life goes. Take note of the people that do come in your life, but also recognize that every chapter has its characters. So although there may be some chapters with specific characters, and they may not always be there, and that's okay. There's going to be other chapters that new characters will come into your life, and they'll get you where you need to be to continue your journey. So.
How old are you?
Exactly, bro. Like, Christ, bro.
I just turned 26 in January.
He's Jedi Knight, y'all. Young,
Nah, bro. I'm talking about wise beyond your years, for real, bro. Like, you laid that down, bro.
For real.
I appreciate you. Being an only child, I've always had to kind of grow up a little fast. So I've always been a little bit older or I've had to, I don't know, I just had to grow up fast. So I appreciate it.
No doubt. Okay, so we're gonna move into, I guess, our kind of like current topics. Talking about, protecting our brands. And there was like a recent situation, and this is kind of just like talking about protecting the culture and things like that. Because it always seems like it's such a problem whenever Black creatives have a product or they come up with something, and then these big brands try to come
vultures.
in, and take our ideas or change them around and utilize them a different way. So, I mean, what do you have to say about that, for Black creatives really not getting their recognition, or, has anybody tried to bite your style?
We've inspired a few people. I'll say that much.
Hey, that's getting stolen today. We inspired a few people. We are inspiration for a few. It's cool.
But I've learned that that's just the name of the game. That's what business is. Everything's susceptible to being commoditized and imitated. It's just a matter of making sure that what is it that sets your brand apart, right? What is it that's going to want to make people go to war if people ever copy your stuff, right? Actually, I have the book here. It's called Breaking from the Pack: How to Compete in a Copycat Economy, because you have to stay innovative, and I think that's just, like I said, it's a part of the game. It's going to happen regardless if you want it to or not. It's just a matter of not letting it phase you, making sure that you do have a strong enough community that will have your back, and make sure that you stay creative enough to where, like, okay, they may copy something that's old, but you're innovative enough to where you're going to create something new that's going to bang too. So you're not even worried about the old stuff.
Yeah. It can be kind of discouraging, though, I know, for some, especially people who don't have that, that grit to where they're just like, okay, I got to keep creating, or I have to come back with something harder. I have to come back with, something different. So they need to quit jacking our stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave it alone. At least give us credit for it.
At least peel something off when you jack it.
Okay, so on TikTok, like on TikTok, there are like all these Black creatives. They're making all these dances and all this stuff like that. So Jimmy Fallon or something recently, he had one of the white TikTokers on there doing all of the dances. But she didn't create any of the dances. She was just on there showing the audience how to do the dances.
And they were half-assed.
Yes!
She wasn't really
even recognize it from the original dance. It's like, at what point is this going to be, like, are y'all not tired of doing this same old thing? Like, it's been going on for so long already. Like, I don't know. It hurts my heart to see.
No, and it's sad because a lot of times Black creatives or content creators are pushed to the shadows, right? And they don't get the same spotlight or recognition. But like I said, it's kind of the name of the game. If you do something great, if some people see that something works, people are going to imitate it. But if you are greatness in yourself, then you won't worry about the imitators because you know that you're moving in greatness. Anything.
What is it? Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. There's Oscar Wilde said something else. Oh, what was it? There's like one last line in addition to that.
Okay, yeah. I don't know that. I don't know that line.
He said, "I don't know that line."
No. I just try to give you as much as I could, but I'm trying to help out.
You said you were going to say something. I forgot. You said you wanted to bring up something because we don't want to. We want to keep this as a nice interview, but we gotta try to get in there and ask the real tough questions. So, of course, this is everybody's favorite portion of the show.
What that is?
Random questions, Joe.
Oh, man.
So,
shit. Yeah.
Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, you take a deep breath. That's all right. You might want to take another.
Yeah. I never know what the questions are. These are real random, so answer them to the best of your ability.
We don't go too hard on you.
Y'all gonna take it easy on me. So I did remember the quote. It was imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. It's the truth.
Gym droppers.
Shout out to that gym. Real.
But let's go. Whoa. Let's
go.
All right, so Paakow, what is the craziest thing you did during your grind to prove to yourself that you were serious? Like the craziest shit, you just like, hey, yo, I know I'm out here now. What was that?
You eat food, what I'm saying? What was going on?
When I was 21 years old, for my 21st birthday party, I flew a handful of my friends out from Texas to Florida. I got them an Airbnb, and then I rented a yacht. And I threw a yacht party for my 21st. And like there's a moment on that yacht where I just looked up, I was like, damn.
Like, this is it.
When you at it?
What? The friends got flew out. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So that was probably the craziest thing that I had to get, just to get the flex out my system.
Yeah.
One
time
just to get it out. But yeah, that'd probably be the craziest thing.
Okay.
So far.
That's good. Big time.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Second question. Now, what's a talent that you have that you are afraid to let people know?
A talent that I have that I'm afraid. I'm pretty transparent.
Old ballerina shoes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something that you might think is a little embarrassing that you're pretty talented at. You know what I mean?
So it wasn't necessarily a talent, but I used to be a real big gamer. So like all growing up, I had like a Neopets phase. I had a real long RuneScape phase to the point to where like I was making YouTube videos on RuneScape. I had like 1,000 subscribers on it. I was getting pretty popular in the game. Yeah, it was a lot. And I don't really talk about it too much, but yeah, so I got a little cyber pop within that community.
Okay,
gaming community.
Paakow's that guy online.
This was like back in like middle school, a little bit of high school age. So that's something I don't talk about too much.
Okay.
He's like, that was another life.
Yeah.
No, RuneScape though, y'all don't know about RuneScape because niggas was on RuneScape.
Yeah.
For real.
I was like, I spent like a good 6, 7, 8 years. I done maxed out a few of the skills. I had 99 range, 99 hunt. Like I was on that hunt.
Yo, in there. Shout out Paakow.
Hey, hey, for real. That's hilarious. He said he was into it for real.
You know, Paakow, I saw I was gonna take a light on you, man. And, that's that was all right though. I like that.
No, that's funny though. I know. Y'all want people to go look up your gamer tag. Let people
You done with the game? You don't game at all no more? You ain't on Call of Duty? You ain't on...
I haven't. I put the sticks down for a while. I used to be on Halo 3 heavily. Like heavy.
Halo.
Like after Halo 3, I was just like, all right.
100%.
Don't be hating on Halo, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Nah. Hey, but I try to play, bro. Just like, I don't know why I couldn't get into the spaceman's jumping and like how they be. I don't know why I couldn't get into that, bro. Like, Call of Duty.
I mean, I hear you, but like Halo?
I know. That's a different debate for a different day, man. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah.
Oh no. How you feel?
I'm feeling good.
You feel good?
I can't complain.
I know.
Boy, Paakow came through and blessed the stream. You know what I'm saying? Dropped some gems. Definitely motivated a few people. Hopefully,
I hope y'all's audience enjoyed me.
I think they did.
Oh yeah, we can tell the comments been lit, right?
Yeah. I think you did. Okay.
Yeah, somebody was mad about that Halo. They said, "Oh no, he said Halo's fire."
Yeah.
Hey, Halo, you like Halo 2 and Halo 3? They're just classics. You can't disrespect them.
So wait, so you never been on Black Ops or
not heavily.
Yeah, but this recent Call of Duty that just came out is probably. I mean, I ain't really. Besides that and Black Ops, was only 2 I really played, but I'm still playing this one from last year. Like, hey, shout out to COVID. It just took me back to 13 years old.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
What is it? The Final Four. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that game last night. I
didn't, but I heard Baylor showed out.
Yes.
They beat the hell out of you.
I mean, you just ain't got to do it like that now.
He's Sonian, man. It's very sad to watch that display. You know what I mean? I know I heard you really wasn't a sports guy, but that was a game. It was the game afterwards that really took me back. That UCLA, Gonzaga, like, hey, that was probably one of the best basketball games I've seen in a very long time. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're not a basketball fan, you would have appreciated that game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just the back and forth, the competitiveness, the grit, and then it was a game winner out of this world. Damn.
We all know that college ball go way harder than actual professional.
No, man. What I was watching last night, I was like, it doesn't even matter what team you want to go for at this point. Like, you really just enjoying the competition. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So enjoying the hustle.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I understand.
Sure.
Hey, man. I learned something today. I don't know if y'all learned something today, but I learned something today. Our job is to inform and to educate you guys and to connect you with people who we can feel elevate what we're doing. So thank you again.
That's right.
Paakow, and I'm going to say it with the K. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Paakow, okay?
You know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
Where's Auntie Paakow?
Auntie's in the room right now. Auntie's in the room.
You feel me? Hello. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hello.
You must be respectful. You know what I'm talking about?
You
feel me?
No, honestly, this conversation, it was beautiful. I appreciate y'all for having me so much, yo. Like, this was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
For real.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, it's on some other shit with your boy, Joe Prophet. My girl, Monet Banks. I mean, we're giving you opinions back with facts, straight like that. Hey, yo, we out, man. We had a great one with my boy Paakow.
Yes, make sure you guys follow,
Y'all see it at the bottom.
and shop www.MIZIZIshop.com. Make sure y'all check that out.
MIZIZI socks and drawers on deck.
Subscribe and ring the bell, y'all. Peace.
We out, man.
All right, y'all.
Yeah. That was hard. Especially for the first one at the Crizzy. That's the first one?